All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to connect a really old idea from ancient Greece to the algorithm that, let's be honest, is probably deciding what you're going to watch right after this. We are talking about AI, and a question that's been around for 2,400 years, but has suddenly become the most urgent question of our time.
So, this quote? It's from Plato, writing about 2.5 millennia ago. His whole point was that for society to work, to be fair and just, the smartest, most thoughtful people should be in charge. And for centuries, that was just a cool idea to debate in a classroom. But today, with AI, it's not a debate anymore. It's literally a design choice.
I mean, that's pretty much what's happening, right? AI is already deciding who gets a loan, who gets a job interview, what news you see. So the question we have to ask is this: are we building some kind of wise, benevolent philosopher king to help guide us, or are we just sort of accidentally creating an invisible tyrant? Who or what should be in control?
And look, this isn't just a philosophical thought experiment. This is a real, high-stakes global race that's happening right now. The world's biggest powers are all trying to answer that same question. And believe me, they are coming up with very different answers.
And this slide really breaks down the two big camps. On one side, you've got the European Union. They're all about regulate first. Their big AI Act classifies AI systems by risk and flat out bans things they see as too dangerous, like cognitive manipulation. But then on the other side, you've got the United States with a totally different vibe. Innovate first. Their plan is all about speed, about deregulation, basically choosing to build as fast as possible and worry about fixing the problems later.
And you can see exactly where the money and the power is flowing. The US is pouring over $100 billion of private money into AI just this year. Europe, less than a quarter of that. So this isn't just about different philosophies, it's a massive bet on who gets to write the code and, let's face it, the rules for all of our futures. Okay, so if that's the battlefield, who's the actual enemy here? Well, it's not some evil Terminator-style robot. No, to get the real danger, we actually have to go all the way back to ancient Athens and meet these guys, these very particular thinkers. They were called the sophists, and these guys were absolute masters of persuasion. See, their goal wasn't to find some capital T truth, the way Plato wanted to. Nope, their goal was just to win the argument. They taught people how to be incredibly convincing, whether what they were saying was actually true or not. And that right there is a perfect description of the algorithms that run our lives today. The algorithm on your favorite social media app isn't trying to make you smarter or a better citizen. It has one and only one goal: to persuade you to keep scrolling, to keep clicking, to keep watching. It's a modern sophist, and it's optimizing for your attention, not your well-being.
Seriously, Plato would have taken one look at a TikTok feed and just said, "See, I told you so." We've built this massive global system that's ruled by the most primitive parts of our brain. The algorithm shows you whatever triggers that little emotional spike, that tiny hit of dopamine, because it knows that's what works. In that kind of world, desire is in command, dopamine is the one deciding, and the actual truth? It's just an annoying inconvenience that gets in the way of engagement.
All right, so that sounds pretty bleak, I know. It's a huge problem. But there is a solution. And it doesn't mean you have to throw your phone in a river. It means we have to upgrade our own internal software. Your new mission, your mandate, is to create something called criterio.
This is so important. Criterio is a Spanish word, and it basically means critical judgment, discernment, the ability to make a good call. If AI can spit out endless fake images and convincing fake text and deep fake videos, then our job as humans isn't to try and compete with that. Our job is to rise above it and develop the criterio to judge what it creates.
So how do we actually do that? Well, it can start with 3 pretty simple steps. First, every time you see a piece of content, just ask yourself, why am I seeing this? Who benefits from me seeing this right now? Second, for the big stuff in life, a loan, a job, a medical decision, demand a human in the loop. Don't let a black box algorithm decide your future. And third, you have to participate. This is the biggest conversation happening in the world, and your voice actually matters.
Because here's the bottom line. In a world that is just flooded with AI-generated noise, the ability to think for yourself, to have criterio, isn't just a nice-to-have skill, it's a form of freedom. It's the only thing that separates a person who is being manipulated from a citizen who is making a real choice.
You've probably heard of Plato's most famous idea, the allegory of the cave.
It's about these prisoners who mistake shadows on a wall for their entire reality. Well, it is the absolute perfect metaphor for right now. We're all living in Plato's Cave 2.0. The cave walls are just the LED screens we hold in our hands. And the shadows? They're the perfectly curated, engagement-optimized feeds that the algorithms serve up for us.
It can definitely feel like we're trapped in that cave sometimes, but there is a way out. It isn't easy, but the first step is simple. It starts by looking away from the shadows on the screen and just asking that fundamental question, the same one Plato asked 2,400 years ago, and the one we all have to keep asking over and over. Who decides?